All right. Well, hello, 2021. Momentum. Our company's 4 years young. And that is the time. That is the time to really explode your business. New people coming in do not know what you know. And it's time to pull out the list. And it doesn't matter if you talked to them 4 years ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago, you're going to do the same thing all your new people are going to do. And this is the way you want to explode your business this year. I've gone through momentum. I've physically gone through it with two companies. Okay. I was on the tail end of one, so I knew exactly what happened and I saw what happened. But then I created momentum. I went from about 4,000 people in my business to 70 plus thousand people. And it wasn't because I put a whole bunch of people in. It's because I taught them to do what I'm going to teach you to do right now. Some of those people that were with me before understand exactly that. I've always taught the business family pack from day one I got in. But there's a time to focus on really building, and you always get the business family pack. Everybody ends up with it anyway, okay? And those of you who's been in the business understands that. Now, I do the business family pack, but it's a little bit more subtle. And those that see it real quick, just hop in right away with it. And you'll see in this little presentation. So what you want to do is focus on money. Yep, you want to focus on money. And money is what it's all about. And especially now, because people are going to need money. Our economy is going to really change. I mean, it changed in COVID, but it's going to really change in 2021 over this next couple of years. And this company is going through momentum right now. We're on the precipice of one of the largest tsunamis in network marketing history. And I forecast it'll last 8 to 10 years, maybe even longer. And that's where we're more than doubling growth every year. And sometimes we have quadruple growth. And you want to be a part of it, because if you don't, your next door neighbor is going to be in 7K in somebody else's business. Your best friend, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, people that you know in your circle of influence, your tight circle of influence, is going to be in somebody else's business because you didn't stick with following up with them. Not that because you introduced it to them, because they're going to forget that. They're going to get excited in the prospect when somebody presents it to them this way, and you didn't get to do it again, because that's what momentum's all about. Momentum's about making money and people improving their financial situation. So let me just get right to it, show you what I have, and then we'll get back with it. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And I went from the handwritten version to a little PowerPoint version. So let's see how we do real quick. I was adding some things this morning already. And so let me get into, let's say, a little slideshow mode here. And we're going to start from the beginning. And okay, so what we're going to do is each person, even if you've been in the business for 4 years, even if you've been in the business for 3 months, everybody does the same thing, and just do it. Right now, make a list, your top 25 prospects, top 25 you want to talk to in this next week. And yes, it's kind of like my job description, 5 people a day, 5 days a week. That'd be 25 prospects. That's 25 new people joining your business that you're going to talk to, and you're going to present this to them. Okay. Now, Yeah, you're going to kind of do a peak interest. I don't care how you get to sit down with them. I don't care how do you get in front of them. There's a lot of ways to do it, but you get in front of them because you tell them it's important. And one of the ways to do it is money. Hey, John, if I can show you how you can take $500 and turn it into $3,000 in the next 8 weeks or less, with absolutely no risk of losing it, would you take 35 minutes for me to show you how? Okay. You just want a person that says yes out of those 25, and you sit down with them. And then you follow back up with the others until they sit down with you, either through a Zoom, either through one-on-one, whatever. And you're going to show them what we're going to do, because you're going to show them this is you right here. This is you. Okay. And you're going to buy a $500 membership. And you're going to buy a membership like in Costco, like in Sam's, like in Amazon, except this is gold and silver, and everybody needs gold and silver, and this stuff works. Okay, I'm going to tell you, this stuff works. It's working for thousands of other people, and right now this company is exploding. And if it's never worked for you before in another company or in some other opportunity or anything else, then you're the one that's going to lose the opportunity, because it's working for me, it's working for others, and it can work for you, and I'm going to help you do it. And what we're going to do is you're going to do the same thing I'm doing. You're going to make a list of 25 people, and we are going to sponsor one on your left side and one on your right side, and that's going to give you 150 points, because that membership counts 150 points, and they pay us for this. Okay, now you got 150 on each side, and then guess what we're going to do? We're going to do the same thing with those people. They're going to, out of everybody they know, they're going to make their top 25, their best friend, their brother, their sister, their mother, their papa, their next door neighbor, the people who are the most successful people they know and they're friends with. Okay, but it has to be people they know. So, and then we're going to help them sponsor one on their left and one on their right, and you get credit for everything that happens on your left side and right side. It's just the way it works, and it's a proven fact. It has worked and worked and worked for 4 years now. People just like you are making extra bucks and buying silver and gold for the first time at affordable prices, just like they said on that little video we watched. Okay, now when they got one on their left and one on their right, they're an associate just like you are. When we get one on your left and one on your right, and that qualifies you to make you a $500 check. Well, those 150 points are 300. That adds to the 150 here, makes 450 points in your counter in this first week. And by the way, they're paying everybody kind of a half check just to make money flow fast right now. And then they're rolling over any unused volume to the next week for you to start off. So here's what happens at the end of the first week. You got $250 back. It's just that simple. And then roll over and you got 200 points or $200 in the right counter and $200 in the left counter. And you're starting off the week almost at another check. But you know, what happens is this. What we're going to do is help those two people that we just got in. And you're the leader, by the way. You're the leader. If you're the leader and you want to make this kind of money, you don't depend on that person to get there too. If they get there too, that's fine. But if they don't, you help them with their top 25 because you got them in. So if you got them in, you can help them get their people in. Okay. You help them get their two people right away. As soon as they get in, they're making that list, they're doing it. We're not trying to figure out how this works. You want people ready to do this, and that's who you focus on. Okay. Now, you help them this next week get their two people. And so that's 4 new people on the left team, 4 new people on the right team, your team. Okay. Now, just like you before, your person is going to make that $250 check this next week, but you're going to make a $500 check because you have 4 times 150 or 600 points coming up to add to the 200 points. And that makes 800 points in your counter at the end of the week. Then they subtract 500 points out of that, and you get a carryover on one side, not both sides, but one side, because you're just an associate, of $300 or points. Okay, so look, you made all your money back in the second week, and you're $250 ahead. And that's just how this thing works. And it's working that way all over the country. So why wouldn't it work for you? The only reason it won't work for you if you don't join me and do this with me. So let's do it. And then what do we do the next week? We help those 4 people help get their 2 people. That's all we do. Everybody's been doing the same thing since day one with this business. Okay. And so what does that mean? That means out of those 4 people, get one on their left and one on their right. Oh, and by the way, the person you got in on your left and their right, if we're doing this, they just made their $500 check too when we do this. Okay. And so, you know, you got 8 new people on your left team coming in your team, 8 new people on your right team coming in your team. That's 8 times 150 points, and that's 1,200 points. Oh, yeah, they have that $199 membership, but that's for people who don't see it. That's for people who have all these questions. That's for people who never get ahead because they stop their own success. Do what successful people do. Do what other people are doing. Why get left behind this time? Well, 8 times 150 is 1,200 points. Well, your counter on your left side, remember 0 now, okay, because it didn't carry over any points, but that gives you 1,200 points in your left side, and your counter on the right side plus your 12 gives you 1,500 points, okay? So if you get 2 more personals yourself, I mean, put your sister in, put your mama in, put your brother in, put them down here. They're going to go way down here at the bottom under somebody else, unless you put them in earlier in the week, okay? And then that will automatically make you a copper, because you're going to have 2 personals on the left, 2 personals on the right. And by the way, you're going to hear me talk about family business pack. Well, this puts you in the family business pack, all right? Except you're not on top. You're just getting involved because you're going to do that anyway, because you didn't even pay for their membership for them, for your brother, your sister, your mama, your daddy, because you're spending $400, but you'll make an extra $500 check because you're going to make $1,000 this week. But why pay for their membership? Get them to pay for it themselves, okay? Unless it's your own family, like your spouse or your son or your daughter or your brother, and y'all doing it as a business, okay? So here's the key. And just this week 3 ended, you made $1,000. The first person you put in on the left and the right, you know, they've made their $750, and so forth down the line. So what do we do the next week? We do exactly the same thing. And look, you're the one in charge of this team. You're the one. If these people don't get their 2 people that right off the bat, I mean, getting kicked in gear, you jump down. Hopefully by this time, you got a partner or 2 somewhere in this network that'll be helping you, and you're training them because they see the vision. And with those 8 people getting their 2 people in your left team and right team, just out of the top 25 they know, okay, now you've got 16 new people joining on the left team, 16 new people joining on the right team. That's 2,400 points. Up comes 2,400 points. And by the way, if they've done the same thing you've done, you've got a copper on your left and a copper on your right already. And let's somebody put themselves on mute, please. Okay, everybody on mute. And then you got a copper on your left, copper on your right. That makes you a bronze if you sponsor another. So hopefully you are working on, you know, I thought of, 1 second. Hopefully you are working on developing somebody else to be a leader with you, one of your coppers. Now, you've made $2,000 if you sponsor a person on your left and sponsor a person on your right. Let me wait.
Sounds like Bianca's on. Bianca
Mute off.
Garcia.
Okay. And so you've made a $2,000 check in 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Now you can do this all in 1 week like Wayne Clark did. He became a bronze. Here, 1 second. Let me just put it on pause for a second, if I can. I need to try and mute everybody.
Or like this sitting across.
There you go.
I think I got it now. Okay. You're a bronze. You've made now $3,750 in 4 weeks. Here's my question to you. What if you never become a bronze and never become a copper? Well, you made $1,500 and your $250 is $1,750. Where else are you going to take $500 and turn and more than double it in just 4 weeks? Let me ask you another question. If this was 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and it took that kind of process, where else could you take $500, turn it into $3,700 in 4 months? Oh yeah, you'll buy a product once a week, once a month, and you spend a little bit more to make money. Well, tell me that business principle doesn't work in everything. We call it overhead. This product of value. Don't even worry about how much it's worth, how much it costs. None of that matters. Don't you want to make some money? Everybody else is making money. Are you going to shut yourself out of making money just because of all your questions? This is that. This company is a proven fact company. It's going to be a mega giant. I want you to join in success with me. What else are you doing in your life to make any money? I mean, you continue doing what you've always been doing. You're going to continue to get what you've always gotten. That is a true fact. I want you to join with me. I want you and I to make as much success out of this as that Idaho potato truck driver, Bruce Harris. He got in this business. He did this. He didn't find it really easy, but look, he got to making $500 a week after a year, and it never stopped. It came every single week. How does that happen? Well, the way it happens is this. If I can get that last slide back up. The way it happens is this right here. You've got people, you've got like 33 people. If you count them up, you became a bronze. You got 33 people on the left, and you got 33 people on the right, times 20 points. When they buy that coin every month, that's 660 points. Now, it doesn't come up all in one time because they buy the coin either on the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 21st, or the 26th. Well, that's 660 points coming up every month. In addition to any new people that join, and in the future, like a lot of people, when they renew and they choose to renew, all these new points come back in again. And so You got enough with 660 points every month to make an extra $500 every month. Could you use an extra $500 every month just with this, just with the beginning of this? This is the beginning to build a huge business in the future. And that's what we want to do. Now, what I want to show you though, is if you would have started with what we call a family business pack, okay? If we'd have started with a family business pack, you would have had your spouse, your mom, your dad, your other family member as the first person you would have sponsored. That'd have been a $199 before you even went to get your people to start the business and be a business partner with you to build. But you're going to put yourself on top of this whole business. That's what we mean by family business pack. I want to make sure you understand we're not going to hold up anything. You need to get started. But I want to show you what this would have happened, because if you'd have done exactly the same thing, get that first person on the other, that becomes your second person that you sponsor. One on the left, one on the right. Okay. Now, because of that, and they duplicate the 500, just duplicating the 500 is going to give you a $500 check that very first week. Now, if anybody else duplicates the business family pack right off the bat before they get started, that's a 250 point person that comes into the business right with you. And when we do that, the next week, you got a 250 point coming on the left, 250 point coming on the right. You got a $500 check. You accelerate and rank a lot faster, and you make money a lot faster. But I don't want to slow down your business, because this business is going into momentum. And when it goes into momentum, you don't have time to answer all the questions and things. I just need you to start the right way. Let's get in with the family. Let's get in with the premium. Let's build. Let's turn $500 into over $3,000 in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 4 months. Let's join the team. Let's do this, because we don't do this. Somebody else is going to have those people in their business. I want you to be in business with me, and I want us both to be successful. Now, this boils down to nothing more than what we said right at the very beginning. Each person making that list of 25 and jumping on it, doing 5 a day, 5 days a week, and we'll all build a momentum together and help each other and explode around the world. This company is already open in Canada, already open in Singapore, already open in the UK, already open in Australia, and it's going to open in many more countries over this next few years. And we can have a business that goes completely to the left, all the way around the world, completely to the right, all around the world. This is our opportunity. I want you to do it with me and with us and with our team. This is work for like Dana Nelson. She just got a whole bunch of her family in a little bitty old town up in Montana. She lives up in the mountains, and she got people in. She didn't know Bob Reid. She didn't know Chris Lattin. She didn't know Diane Graver. She didn't know Colleen Lee. She didn't know Michael Thorpe. She didn't know Vic. She didn't know anybody. They ended up on her left team and her right team. And that lady was the first lady to make a 6-figure income in this business. She still makes a 6-figure income. She buys her product, and her family buy their product every month. She makes $2,000 a week, never fails. And she can make a lot more than that. That can happen to us. That can happen to you if you let it happen. So I want to kick off 2021 with you, everybody. I want us all to succeed with a momentum growth curve. And